It's 12:30. It is the 9th day of December. I am your grumpy guide to all things holiday. Yo, GGM. And I promised I would address this, so I'm going to. So trigger warning. If the topic of me responding to another YouTuber talking about Dungeons and Dragons and how you should play your character is something that will upset you, please stop watching this video now. Okay, so I addressed the first couple minutes of this video in a previous vlog about stats and old school gamers like myself. But now we're going to address the bulk of this individual's video. And the topic of the individual's video is play your D&D character wrong. And then they go on, and basically their whole point is, just don't play a character that's min-max, that's, apparently they've gotten pooped on because they played a certain class, they didn't play that class a certain way, and people are all like, oh, how dare you not play that class that certain way. So their response was, it's okay. In fact, it's a experiment in creativity to play a character that is wrong, or play a class in a way that maybe other people don't expect you to play the class. Okay, so I feel like the one topic I have harped on the most, time and time again, and again, this sounds like a perfect example of that topic, is the importance of session 0 and the agreement between the DM and the players of exactly what type of game you're going to play. I have even gone so far as to say, in addition to session 0, you should probably have a session 5, where 3, 4, 5 games in, again, you all sit down and agree, is this the game we want to play? Because this is what we talked about at the beginning, but now it seems like things are going in a different direction. Should we address those issues and decide, what do we want to do? Okay, so again, to this person who made this whole video about playing the character wrong and the experience they had, again, the importance of session 0. Because, my friend, there is absolutely no way to play a character wrong. There is no way to play a character right. There is no wrong DM, though there are some bad DMs. There is no right DM, though there are some good DMs. There is no wrong player, though there are some bad players. Nor is there a right way to play, though there are some good players. There's nothing instinctively wrong that you could do at the game table except for be an ass or cheat. So there's no wrong way to build a D&D character because there's no right way to build a D&D character. Sure, you can optimize a D&D character, but whatever. Okay, big deal. There are, on the other hand, the wrong game for your character. So, if you come to the game with this many pages of backstory and want to tell a gripping, epic story of your character's development and role-playing and everything and blah, 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 and make, put the writers of Gone with the Wind to shame, make sure everybody else at the table is on the same page. And that's the game you want to play. Because there's nothing wrong with that style of the play. Just like there's nothing wrong with min-max optimization style of the play. And I appreciate both. There's definitely a part of me that loves min-max optimization. There's definitely a part of me that in the last character I played, I found a way to do a ton of damage with very little work. Just by min-maxing and looking at spells and abilities and seeing exactly how 5th edition allowed me to stack them in such a way that I was doing, an average of 50 points damage. And I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. This seems wrong, but it's there. If everybody else agreed, this is the kind of game we're going to play. On the other hand, if everybody else at the table agreed, we're going to play a min-max optimization, dungeon crawl grinder game, and you show up with your 35 pages of backstory because you want to play a 35-page backstory, then don't get upset if everybody else at the table or everybody else who's a fan of that game goes like, dude, what the fuck? Why are you trying to talk to that potato? Well, on my page 15, dude, it's a potato. Okay? None of us else has spent that much time, okay? So if everybody else, session 0, agreed we're playing that game, and you show up with a character that doesn't fit on that table in that agreement, that's what's wrong. Your character isn't wrong, neither are they wrong. It's they all agreed to play one type of game, and you didn't. The same goes the other way. If everybody else at the table is playing 35 pages of World of Darkness level, background and creation and want to tell an epic story that puts, the Odyssey to shame, and a Travis shows up at your game who's min-max optimized, I can do 13 points of damage and then first level plus heal myself 3d8, then don't get upset because everybody else at the table is like, dude, that's not the kind of game we're playing, so you're not going to feel very comfortable in this game. That's why, again, you ignorant idiots who don't seem to listen to the one thing that we have been saying repeatedly since day one. Session 0. Agree. Agree on what type of story, what type of game you're going to run, and then stick to it. And 5-10 games in, meet up again, and all again agree that are we telling the story we originally set out to tell, or do you now want to take this a different way? Because if we all agree, that's great. But if some of us want to do something and another person wants to do something else, then we either have to A, find a happy middle, or B, dude, you have to find a different game. Not because there's anything wrong with us, not because there's anything wrong with you, not because you're trying to piss in everybody's Cheerios, simply because we're not playing the game that you're going to enjoy, or you're not running a character that we're going to enjoy. It's as simple as that. There is no wrong way to do Dungeons and Dragons. There's no wrong way to do this game. You can build whatever character you want that fits your whatever. But then understand what game you're playing. So, again, if you got shit on because people were watching you play the character one way, was it because A, everybody else at the table agreed to play the character a different way, or B, just because everybody thought they knew what they were talking about? Now, in relation to the specific character type this individual chose, I can understand the argument that people made, okay? Because basically you chose a character class that really is built only to be played one way. So to try and play that character any other way other than the way it is really built for is sort of counterproductive. I understand you want to tell a gripping story, but you can tell a gripping story and still actually play the character the way it is designed. You're playing Dungeons & Dragons. You only have so many options to play this character class. And in the case of this character class, it really, really is specifically designed to only do one thing. So the fact that you chose not to have it do the one thing it is specifically designed to do, and then people are like, dude, are you sure you know what you're doing? I completely understand that. Now, I also understand your argument for why you chose to tell an epic story with this character and why you chose to do a different direction with this character. But based upon what I heard, it really sounds more to me like you're playing a sorcerer or a cleric, and not the character you're playing. Because again, all the other characters, whatever, they're you can go any way you want. But this one guy is only really built to do one thing. Anyways, that's not besides the matter. That's just, and it's not for me to defend these individuals, although I can understand why they gave you crap. I really can, because I've been in the same experience where somebody was playing, again, the same class, playing it completely against counterproductively, and it's like, we're totally behind you wanting to role play this story. But you do understand, to survive, this character really is only designed to do one thing. So if you don't want to do that one thing and still tell a gripping story, play a different class. That said, there's no wrong way to play it. Fine. You can choose to play a class against class. You can choose to be counterproductive. You can choose to say I'm going to do an experiment. I've done it. And my experiment for this game is X. As long as the DM knows that this is what you're trying to do, and everybody else at the table agrees this is the story we want to tell. Again, coming back to, wait for it, support me, water. I will sell out. Session 0. An almost, dare I say it, ironclad contract between the Dungeon Master. Isn't it lucky I have this paper sitting by my desk, or I wouldn't have this great prop? An almost ironclad contract between the DM and the players. We agree. We have sat down and spent an hour talking about what we all want. We have come to a happy medium. This is the adventure we're going to tell. This is the story we want to tell. This is everything we agreed upon. Bam, here it is, black and white. We've all agreed upon it. 5-10 sessions down the road, we'll revisit this and make sure that Susan's still happy and Tom's still happy and you, the GM, are still happy and Billy's still happy and Travis is still happy. And if we're not, if the game has gone in a different direction, if everybody's decided, oh, you know what, I actually want to do X, then again, readdress that, refix that. Can this be fixed? But, my friend, your basic premise, the basic fallacy in your argument was play a D&D character wrong. And the problem with that is the assumption that there is a right way to play D&D or a best way to play D&D. And I get that you're arguing against min-maxers, power gamers, and that there's another way to play besides min-max power gamer. And there's no right way and no one way to play this game. Because this ain't Monopoly. This is an open field of infinite possibilities. And no two people are going to approach that field in the same way. I assure you. And if everybody wants to min-max power game and that's the game you agreed upon, that's fine. On the other hand, if everybody wants to tell epic 30-page backstory game and to go into each character's whatever, and the combat and the min-maxing is really playing secondary to telling an epic story and creating epic characters and their place in the world and really sort of do Japanese role-playing visual novel type style, that's fine as long as everybody agrees to it. But if you're running min-max game and 30-page person shows up at the game, then understand people are going to be a little bit curious, and then a little bit possibly upset at you because you're not playing the game they want to play. The same thing if you're on the opposite side. If everybody's playing this, and if this dude shows up with his min-max, I can do 30 points of damage at first level character, then again, dude, understand. This is what we're playing. Maybe if you can't get on board, this isn't the game for you. And that's okay. Final word. Especially because I have a reputation of making D&D not fun and telling people they can't play in my game, which I have never done. But I have said on multiple occasions, maybe my table is not the table for you, and if so, tell me what you're looking for and I will help you find the game that fits your needs. So, to this individual, if you came to a game and if you were told you were playing the character wrong, did you make sure that everybody else at the table and the DM was on the same page as you? Or did you just show up and assume it was going to be okay and everybody would just be like, well, I don't, fuck you. I'm going to play my character the way I want. And if you don't agree with me, then you're shitting on me and, you're discriminating against me. Instead of, hey, this is what I want to play. Is that okay? And if everybody's like, yeah, sure, then great. More power to you. But if people are like, no, we're not really playing that kind of game. We're kind of playing, this type of game. We've all sort of built this type of story. If you want to, try and make your character fit that, if you want to make a different character, great. But on the other hand, if maybe this doesn't work for you, that's okay. let us help you find the game that will work for you. Because I've never said, I don't want you in my fucking game. You fucking suck, Joe. What I've said time and time again is, maybe my game isn't for you. I understand that you are not fitting in, not having a good time with the story I'm telling. Tell me what you want, and I will help you find it. There is no, I repeat, no wrong way to play a character, but there are wrong games for you. So that's it. That's 15 minutes of me responding to this bullshit. And really, I don't think there's any reason we should have made the video other than this individual obviously had a bad time and wanted to talk about it. And far be it from me to squash your freedom of speech. So if you had a bad time in a game and you wanted to talk about it, Lord knows I do it. So go for it. But to not expect somebody like me and us other video assholes to respond, well, person, there's no wrong way to play. There's no wrong way. Session 0, Session 0, Session 5. Communicate. Agree. Everybody agree. This is the story we're going to tell. And then tell that fucking story. If you appreciate this content and want to hear more, comment down below. If you don't appreciate this content and think I should shut the fuck up, comment down below. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, take a moment and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps you know what's going on with the OGGM adventures in 2021, and it helps me know what direction you want this video adventures to go in 2021. Support me. I will talk to you, bah humbug, later.